So what I discovered in healing stress is not only healed all the physical symptoms, the overwhelm, the anxiety, it's that missing something, that sense that there was something I couldn't put my finger on, an emptiness that no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't seem to satisfy. There was a lack of personal fulfillment. This was the most beautiful gift in healing stress, and it wasn't expected. It was something that I discovered as I learnt to heal stress, as I learnt to reconnect where stress had caused that disconnect, that separation from who I really am. It's so amazing to be able to live from this place, to not need to people please, to not need to fit in, to not need to suppress what I feel or who I am. And in that way, I'm free to choose. Choose what it is I give my time and energy to. Choose what it is I create. Create a life that has personal meaning for me and that is a true reflection of who I am. Maybe this speaks to you. Maybe you feel that this is the missing something. On this post, I'm going to show you all simple things that you can start doing today that if you do consistently will change your life, will not only heal stress, but reconnect you to who you are so that you can start to create a life that has meaning to you. Now, if you're stressed, you've been struggling with stress perhaps for many years, you might ask, is this possible? I've tried everything. I'm already feeling overwhelmed. I can't do anything else. Perhaps you think it's too late. You're too broken. You're too stressed. But I've been there and I'm sitting here so I can share this with you. And so you know that it is possible. There are many reasons why we don't take that step, why we resist change, why we doubt if things are possible. Having explored this for over 10 years and understood the process, I guarantee you, if you start today, you will start to see the change that you're looking for. You will start to be the change that you're looking for. I'm going to share the awareness in the post today. If you want the process, then there's a 6-week daily connection, the Alchemy of Stress, and the link is in the description box below. There's also a daily reset where I guide you through this process, and the link to the playlist is in the description box as well. So step 1 is the conscious connection. When we experience stress from an early age, it has the effect of disconnecting us. Disconnects us from what we're feeling in the body. And this is crucial to healing stress, to reconnect where stress has disconnected us, to start to become aware of what we're feeling in the body. And in that way, you're also starting to reconnect to your core self because you understand that through what you're feeling. Pause for a moment. Just take a moment to bring your awareness into your body, becoming aware of what it is you feel as you're listening to this post, as you're listening to me, starting to become aware of your body, of your presence. And it's very different from living solely from what we're thinking. We're starting to reconnect to what we're feeling and starting to access all that information to what the body's receiving and communicating. That might not feel like much, but if you do this regularly, you start daily until it becomes a natural reflex, it's going to change your life and it's going to help you heal stress for good. Everything I'm sharing on this channel, everything I'm sharing with you in this post and what I share in the 6-week Alchemy of Stress, I've understood in this conscious connection. It's not through studying, it's not through reading lots of books, it's through being present and accessing everything that already exists within. Now, if I'm here sharing how to heal stress, imagine what it is that you can find as you reconnect to your body, to what you feel, and to who you are at your core. The potential is limitless. Apart from healing stress, in that conscious connection, you're going to discover who you really are. That's your authenticity. That's what's going to give you true fulfillment, that personal experience of success and happiness. Only you can know what is true for you. And it's in this conscious connection that you start to access and understand that. So step 2 is the conscious communication or conversation that you have with your body. Understanding that your body is always communicating, and it's communicating in sensations, feelings, emotions. And as you're consciously connected, you're gaining access to all that information about your experience. In stress, we suppress so much of what we feel because it feels uncomfortable, it doesn't feel safe. And there is the disconnect. We don't like to be in the body because it feels uncomfortable. It's essential that we reconnect and start to engage in that dialogue with the body, in that conversation. It's essentially saying, bring your attention here, be in that conscious connection with your body, with yourself, what you feel. And as you bring your attention to that, that's your part of the conversation. That's how you communicate with your body, with your core self. And as you respond consciously, what you're starting to do is to acknowledge yourself, acknowledge what you feel, acknowledge your self-worth, acknowledge what it is you need. And you're starting to respond to what you need as well in the same way. And again, that's incredibly healing for stress. In that conscious communication, conversation, we also learn to express what it is we've suppressed in stress. We start to say out loud what it is we feel. We start to communicate needs, desires. We're starting to open up as we're in that conscious connection, conversation. That's step 1 and step 2. And we're starting to understand so much more about our own experience through what we feel. It's deeply healing. This is part of the somatic work. The body can start to let go. There's the alchemy. It's a transformation of something that's been held in, suppressed, blocked, held in tension, that the body can start to release, okay? And this is a natural healing process. The body can start to come back into balance. You start to understand so much about your own experience, about what it is you've suppressed in stress. And it's not only what you feel, it's who you are. You're starting to access all of that through these 2 simple steps: conscious connection, conscious communication, conversation, and what it is you start to express rather than suppress. The more you do this, and again, consistency is key, you start to understand that you have choice. We can start to choose how we speak to ourselves, how we speak to our bodies. And this is already incredibly powerful in terms of healing. We're in these reactive stress cycles. Our thought patterns are often very negative on loop, and they're recreative, and the body's receiving all this information, and it's recreating that tension, the overwhelm that you experience in stress, in chronic stress. So you can start to consciously choose how you speak to yourself. And again, this might not seem like much, but do this consistently and it will change your life. Because if you can choose how you talk to yourself, it shows an awareness that you're breaking out of that reactive stress loop, which is limiting your life experience. So as you choose what you speak, you're breaking out of this reactive cycle, and you're starting to speak to yourself with kindness, compassion, in a supportive way. But at the same time, allowing yourself to express yourself authentically, not needing it to be perfect, not needing it to sound right, allowing yourself to say what you feel. Conscious choice is all about how you choose to speak to yourself, how you choose to respond to yourself. It's not about getting it right, it's not about getting it perfect, but it is about understanding that you have choice. And we're bringing that into the daily practice in the way that you choose to speak to yourself and to your body. The fifth step is conscious creativity. Now, what I've understood is that as you heal stress and you're out of that reactive loop, reactivity, overwhelm, you are free to create in terms of what it is you choose. And this is all to do with the beliefs you hold, the thoughts that you think, how you speak to yourself, and of course how that informs the actions that you take. If in a stress state you believe that it's not possible and you're in that reactive loop, it's going to limit your experience. It's going to limit the way in which you think, the way you speak to yourself, but also in terms of the action, the steps that you might take in your day-to-day. And as you break out of that limitation, that reactivity, and you start to be very intentional about what it is you choose based on that conscious connection, what you feel, what you're understanding about yourself, you are literally breaking out of that limitation and starting to consciously create the life that is meant for you, that is a true reflection of who you are. You can start to do this today. Okay, this isn't something you need to wait to do until you're healed. This is something that is very much part of the healing process. Again, it doesn't matter how stressed you are, how overwhelmed you are, how hopeless you might be feeling in this moment. I start the 6-week Alchemy of Stress with setting an intention. What would it feel like to live without stress? To start to connect to that potential. Now, there are different ways you can bring in conscious creativity into your daily practice, into the healing process. One of the most powerful moments that I experienced on my healing journey was when I was incredibly stressed. I was about to leave a relationship and I was sitting with the kids making a Christmas wish list. And I wrote down, very playfully at the time, even though I was so stressed, a new house, a new car, and I was about to be homeless. And within 3 months, I had a new house, the house that I'm sitting in today, and I had a new car. And at the time, it seemed like an impossibility. It's about being able to imagine, to connect to a new potential, something different from what you are experiencing in the present moment, which is a result of what's been created in the past, the stress, the overwhelm, the reactive loop that you've been in. Everything that we experience is created in the present moment, and either we're conscious of that or not. And this is really how you start to break out of that reactive stress loop, the limitation that you might be experiencing today in your health, in your finances, your relationship, in any area of your life. And it's through these 4 simple steps that you can start practicing today, start practicing now. It's the conscious connection, reconnecting where stress has disconnected you. It's the conscious communication, conversation with your body. Your body is communicating all the time, and it's learning how to respond to your body, to start to heal through what you feel, what's been suppressed in stress. It's the conscious choice, understanding as you reconnect, listening to what you feel, that you have choice, that you can start to choose how you respond to what you feel. You can start to choose how you speak to yourself and your body, and it starts to change everything. And in that way, understanding that you have a choice in what it is you're creating as you break out of that limitation, that reactive stress loop, to start to consciously create through what you're imagining, and to start to give form to that in terms of how you speak to yourself, what it is you choose to believe, again, as you're accessing all of that information, understanding who you are at your core in this conscious connection with your body, with yourself, in the present moment. It's all there. Again, I share this as a process in the 6-week Alchemy of Stress, and all the details are in the description box below. And also in the daily reset, there's a playlist. And this really has changed my life. It's more than healing your health. It's finding everything that's been missing, but has always been there. It's that reconnection to who you really are, to be able to live from that place, to live authentically, and to find more peace, more time, more energy, more joy, more creativity, and to start to create the life that reflects who you are, that will bring you true fulfillment and that personal expression of happiness and success. And I'm sharing what I've discovered in the hope that it will help you not only heal stress for good, but will help you reconnect to who you are at your core. Because really, it's in this conscious connection that you will discover everything that you need. You have everything within who you are, and it's really about rediscovering who you are at your core so you can live from this place. Okay. As always, thank you for being here. Do like, share and subscribe this post if you found it helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next post.